Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cherie. If you're new here, thank you for clicking on this video today. And today's video might be a struggle video because I am literally, after I turn this off, I am going to take the memory card out, take my laptop and everything else that I need to pack into my car, and I'm headed to Charlotte for the weekend. So I'm just trying to squeeze this review in because I was like, I can't miss 2 weeks back to back, but I've been traveling. Last week I was in Seattle and I just literally did not have the energy to film and everything. So I'm trying to get it done this week. So this review will be a combination of episode 10 and 11. So let's go ahead and get started. So in episode 10, we had the first time for the recommitment ceremony where I guess production gave them the opportunities, or the experts gave them the opportunity to get out of the marriage if they felt like, you know, this was just a waste of time. They had an out to get out before decision day. So this was something new. Everybody decided to stay together, which, yeah, you know. But some important things to note that I wrote down from there. Pastor Cal, it was funny when he met with Matt, because Matt, he was just like so frustrated with Matt because Matt was like, oh, everything's good. Sir, do you not know that cameras see you? And that it's just so bonkers with Matt. Like something is not right. But Pastor Cal got him together. Oh, Greg met also in the episode. Greg met with his friend Pico, who told him some great advice about marriage. Like, if none of these things changed about this person, would that be okay for you for the rest of your life? Like, people go in hoping and expecting people to change, when in reality, people are just not going to change. They're just going to be themselves. I mean, people can change, but you can't really rely on that going into marriage. So I felt like he gave him some excellent advice. We also saw Iris playing this dice game where they were supposed to, they had 2 dice, and they were supposed to do some things with it, like lick this place or whatever. She couldn't even do that. So y'all know how I feel about Iris. I am so over Iris. And I think Keith is too. But I'm just like, really, like, maybe, I think it's part Iris, part her, what she's wanting to portray for the camera. But I'm just like, ma'am, come on. And of course, Beth and Jamie are still arguing, and yeah, we'll just skip on past that. And the last thing that I noted for that episode was that Amber really has low self-esteem. Like, it was just crazy because she was like, I'm willing to do anything to keep this marriage together. So this man is like abandoning her and leaving, and she's giving him her husband a 2:30 curfew. Sir, if you don't bring your butt in this house, like, you can't be coming home at 2:30 in the morning when you married. At least not from my standards. You just can't be doing that. But anyway, that was a quick recap of episode 10. Moving right along to episode 11. This was the episode where the experts, I forgot the woman's name, but wanted them to expose their husband or wife to their childhood and where they were raised, where they came from, basically. So that was basically what this episode was all about. They also, before we get to the couples, I'm going to my notes, they went to NASCAR and did like an actual race in a car where they were able to lap around. And I thought that was cool. Like, I didn't even know, like, NASCAR isn't a big thing for me when I'm in Charlotte. Like, that's not something I'm like, you know, ain't really no black people out there. So, but I didn't know I would want to ride in the car if I could. I felt like that was very cool. And so they got the opportunity to do that. And then Elizabeth showed her tail because she's just Elizabeth, and that's what she's just going to be doing. And the man was giving instructions, and I hate that too because I'm always a learner, and I'm very good at listening. And so when someone's speaking and giving directions, I like to give them my full attention. Some people just continue to talk. I'm like, you don't hear this person giving important instruction. Why are you continuing to talk? So I like to make sure I'm giving my full attention to that person. And Elizabeth was just doing the most. And I felt like everybody wanted to tell her to to shut up. But Jamie actually did, which I don't think was appropriate. It wasn't appropriate. You know, he could have like said it in a different way. And why were they standing on both ends? Why weren't they standing next to each other? That whole thing was just very, very weird to me. But that was a whole blow up, because you know, once Elizabeth sets off, there's a full-blown tantrum and she's going to ruin everybody else's day, and everybody around her is just going to be feeling how she feels. She's just going to ruin everything. So, but that didn't stop their show. The other couples, oh, and Keith and Iris couldn't make it for some reason, so they weren't there. So it was just Deanna and Greg and Amber and Matt. So they all were able to get in the car. So, and Elizabeth did. She just had a full-blown meltdown. And then Matt, Elizabeth made the point about nobody really sticking up for her. And I don't know, like on one hand, mind your business industry. On the other hand, you know, like I felt like they didn't know what to say. If they wanted to say something, like, what did you say in this moment? Because it was so like awkward. So I get where the other couples were coming from, but I need Matt to be quiet. I don't need him to say nothing at all. Like, don't even, Matt, no. Okay, so now back to the couples. So with Keith and Iris, they had an exercise where they were telling each other secrets, which I think was a stupid activity. It's just like dumb. Like, why are you going to tell them a secret on national TV? I would be weirded out about that too. So I kind of understood why Iris, and this is like, this is my one time understanding her crazy, why she told that secret. Because I'm not going to tell you my secret on national television. I'll tell you off camera if you're my husband. But yeah, her secret was dumb about her swallowing a quarter. Man, that's not a secret. That's dumb. What else? They also went dancing, and it was so awkward to watch because it was just Iris, and I don't feel any sexual energy from Iris. Like, even, you know, you can just feel sexual energy from people, and Iris has none of it. And I was just weirded out by the whole thing. I don't think Keith, it just looked a mess. But I don't think that Keith is sexually attracted to Iris. I don't. He can keep telling us that. But I don't think he is. And he also mentioned to his mom when they went to visit his house, in which he grew up in a very nice house. I had to remember that this child is only 27 years old. So 10 years ago, he was 17. So he was, yeah, his house was very, very nice. But when he was having a conversation with his mom, she asked him, does she make you happy? And he didn't have a response for that. He didn't know. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for them. That's all I have. Moving right along to Matt and Amber. So when they're having their conversation with the expert lady, they mentioned how, you know, they were no longer having sex for the past few days because they wanted to see whether they had a connection outside of sex, which I think was a good thing because it really was more of Amber coming on really strong at the beginning. Like, she was like, on him. Because like I said, Amber has low self-esteem and Matt has issues, and put that together and it's just not good. Matt visiting his house, his childhood home, was just another thing. Hear him talk about it and how they are at a place. I can understand being disconnected from your family because, yeah, but the way that it's affecting him, where, like, you know, really nobody, I don't think anyone from his family showed up for his wedding. Matt needs counseling. Something is really, really wrong. So that was just sad to see. I wrote down Amber is afraid to be alone. And something is really going on in that relationship with those two. I don't know what it is, and I hope that we find out eventually. But mark my words, something else is going on that we don't know about yet. So moving on to Deanna and Greg, we also saw Deanna's childhood home, her hometown. And they didn't show the house. They had like a lunch or something at the park, which I thought was weird. I was like, they didn't show the house, but they were just in the town. And I think she's from South Carolina too. I think somewhere around Columbia. I could be mistaken, but so yeah, they were at the park. I just noticed. I know Deanna's guarded, but even when her and Greg were having that conversation, she was like, he's trying to mansplain. I got that he was joking. Like, if I can't have someone to understand my sarcasm and that I joke a lot, then I don't think we will be good, because just, you know, and you got to have a balance. You got to know when to be joking and know when to be serious. And I just, from Deanna, the only time I saw any kind of like is when she found out about a surprise birthday party at Topgolf, which looked fun because I'm going there for the first time this weekend. So I'm excited about that. It looked fun. But yeah, that was the only time I really saw like some real, you know, emotion and expression from her. I felt like she's always like, you know, she's just very serious. Let's see, anything else for them? Oh, last day. Deanna, and today I'm part of the concealer and mascara and lip gloss team, because I don't have time to do a full beat. I gotta go. I need her to get a good primer or a good setting powder to get some of that shine off, or do a little bit of blotting before she gets on camera, because some people have her on there looking a hot burning mess. Like, she always looked like very shiny, and she just needs the blot, because I know I'm oil patrol too. So just, you know, do a little bit of blotting before, you know, you get on camera. Moving on to these fools, Elizabeth and Jamie, still a hot burning explosive mess. We see Elizabeth after her meltdown at NASCAR, where they're about to meet with the expert lady, and she's still having her tantrum. And I do think that Jamie kind of like, he knows what buttons to push on her, and he doesn't do anything to like contain it. What I'm trying to say. And Elizabeth is really a brat too, but Jamie he's like moody, and he does stuff to her to just, you know, it's a very weird and just toxic dynamic that is not good at all. And so even when the expert lady is there, she's still, you know, she's like pushed the table over, about to destroy them people equipment. And then they gotta get her to come out of the room. Just a whole episode, something you would do with the child. And the expert lady, she reminds me of those people. I used to be a teacher, and those teachers and principals and assistant principals who would be talking, Billy would be totally destroying a room and doing crazy stuff, and they'd be like, well, you know, this is why would you want to do this? And sit down, get somewhere and sit down somewhere. That's why I need them to talk to these people. Don't be up in here full of line. I need you to give them the real deal. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's just me. I don't know, but she was able to get her out the room and calm her down. And so they do make it to see where Elizabeth is from, and she's from somewhere country in South Carolina. She grew up in a mobile home, a trailer, which is pretty common in South Carolina, because at some point during my childhood, I was living in a trailer as well. I think we moved maybe 2 or 3 times during my childhood. I remember living in 3 different places. But it's the country of South Carolina. So, and that was very emotional for her, because they, you know, come so far, from that, which, you know, I can understand that. But, then they get into the car, and Jamie started that in the car. Like, he should have just let her. She was like, she wasn't sorry for her behavior at NASCAR. And he pushed that. Like, he just should have said, just, oh, Elizabeth, and kept it moving. But he pushed that and started going in on that girl. And it was downhill from there, because then she starts her stuff, and it's just, I think they like fighting. If you watch Big Little Lies on HBO, I just watched both seasons this past week. And I feel like, you know, that couple, I'm not gonna give any spoilers, but I feel like they have that dynamic where they just like fighting because maybe it leads to sex, and Jamie loves sex. So maybe they have that dynamic going on, because I've heard another, I think in Travis' video, he also does reviews. I've mentioned him before. I watch his reviews. He's the only other person I watch that does Married at First Sight reviews. He said that they are still fighting like that right now. So apparently they're still together. I don't know if this is true or not, but they're still together and they're still fighting like this. So maybe that's just how they like to do. I don't know. I know it's not healthy. I don't know how that's going to go in the long term, but it's just a heartburning mess. All right, guys, I think we made it through everything. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments below, and I'll pay attention to that for next time, and I can mention it. But I just really wanted to make sure that I got this video filmed, and I'm going to edit it either tonight or in the morning, and it should be up by, today is Thursday, so by Friday, I'm hoping, fingers crossed. It has to be, because I have so much other stuff going on this weekend. So yeah, let's chat below in the comments. As always, you guys be blessed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.